Good afternoon. It's E from MarketWizard.com, the MiniWizard.com, and it is about just after 2:30 in on the 3rd of December, 2020. And just wanted to remind traders, obviously, to use risk capital you can afford to lose. Just taking a quick peek, see what's happened since we've last talked. I'd suggested this afternoon, as this started to break down, I suggested don't be aggressive buying right now. It looked like we were going to test 65. And that was just a gut level feel on my part, a little intuition there, but it just felt like it was soft and we wanted to come back and we wanted to test some some support. I've got pivot point today, 64 and a quarter. As I mentioned in the room, I married up this low right here, 730 lows. That's a double, intraday double. And as such, you want to make sure you're paid. We said let's use 62 to 65 as our support zone. Little shake, a little bake, but probably not going anywhere right away. One of those really soft days that hard on both sides. So we had the nice push this morning. We had retest failure, and then lunch was soft as you would expect, but it just felt like they wanted to come back and shake out some weak hands. And obviously that's what happened here. And so if you bought with a 62, 65 buy zone, stop zone, then you want to get paid, first of all, coming into that 70 and a quarter, thinking the doji idea to 72. And then anything above that's obviously the good fortune part. There's our angels and demons. I had suggested this was our support idea, the 62 angel, 62 and a quarter. Here you can clearly see that double that I had talked about. And I really emphasize this, cannot emphasize it enough. You look for ideas like this for doubles to help show where possible support may come back in. Resistance back here at that 77, 78, where our demon is. And the good fortune part this afternoon, obviously, I'm still using 62 support. The 72 to 70 as our middle area. And then any new highs, obviously, we talked about potential 82 to 83 even as the next target's up above 80. And those were in the cards today if we could hold support. Don't know that we'll get that strong a push this afternoon. I would think conservatively, and we'd need to obviously hold this 68 to 67 area, as I'd said earlier today. That was pretty important. So we lost it, but regained it, and so we still need to hold on to that area. Pretty important. That was where the day opened, if you'll recall. So that's an important idea in our trading. This 67, can we hold in here or not? Obviously, if we're looking at our RT8, I'm sorry, our Globex range, 57, 58 support until proven otherwise. Here's that double. I'm going to move this back up now that we've reacquired this box. This will be a thin dime off of the low at 74. Anybody that's got 72s lock and then squeeze up. Get a little bit more if you can, and obviously never let this run against you now. And this is our support pivot until proven otherwise. So this market, as I've said before, just seems to want to keep going higher, and we're beginning of the month. So on pullbacks, buy the pullback and take what you can on the push. Here's our weekly. This is our support box. This is our typical fighting box, and then obviously above 80 would be the new targets. And for tomorrow, we still have not ruled out that 85 to 92 actually is the pretty big target that I've got set up, 92 to 95 even. but first things first, you got to get past 82s. And we can see this is base on base. And we said we are using this as our pivot, 72s, above and below. And 93.75 could not have respected more of this chart. Beautiful chart. A little squirrely with these charts today, but I said I think the 10-minute chart is the right chart, and so far that's proven to be true. And when we get over and under, it speaks to range. Well, you got to stay above. Clearly, above the blue line helps, and once you come over, you underneath it, you still have to get below and stay below the rain line. So this is still a neutral chart on the 10. And the 15 is our primary chart, so we know that that's still supportive. Here is the 5 RTH over and under rain line. Yes, they held beautifully. We had a good morning, but this poked a little behind and regained, and then the retest failure and then launch. And this was what I was looking at as we lost this when I said, I think we can come down and get 65 tests. And that's what I was reading there. And then we righted the ship again over and under. So I'm going to look at this as pretty neutral right now. And obviously our RTH chart. This was the break right here and quickly got regained. This is where I said this is, the 68 area needs to hold. Lost it, plunge. Charlie jumps in thinking that it's going to go south side. 2 o'clock. This is the end of lunch. Remember I said, be careful, the end of lunch here. This is where they did the shake and bake right here. And you can see it. Fast down, fast, right back up. Boom. Double in here at that 67 area and off again to the races. So usually on a 10-point swing, you want to make sure you get something out of that. Anybody that's long should have been paid 70 and a quarters, right? 4, 5, 6, right? 456 intraday RTH. Still a very tough range to be trading, and take what you can out of it. So current support, obviously back here, this 67, 68 area, and high of the day resistance. And ahead of that, I'm going to start to think this box up here. Let's just put a bubble over there. So step by step next, but I'm thinking today the high probably is in. Doesn't have to be. We still got hour and a half, but I'm thinking probably the high is in unless we get some news. And then if they want, they can scoot it up overnight. Either way, thinking range type trade, and we're using 72 as our pivot. Hope that helps you see what I'm looking at.